We actually had an easier time getting names involved in this picture than a lot of the higher budget projects that I've done in Los Angeles. There was a real appreciation of this script and this story and their approach to it.
We were casting for about 8 months, and now we have a wonderful cast that has come on board.
The stars aligned, you know, literally, and they were able to get a lot of the cast that would work perfectly for this sort of thing.
They say casting in a film is 90% of the movie, and we were very fortunate. The cast is actually perfect. From Daryl Hammond to Judd Nelson to Steve Burns, Amy Davidson, Dave Foley, Jason Mewes, and the great local actors that we pulled here from Arizona to make the film. We have about 20 speaking roles in the movie, and the movie really is cast perfectly.
Happy Garfield Day.
Honestly, I think the entire cast is perfect. I think we were all cast very, very well.
There's always some trepidation working with big names, people that are established in the field, but basically they put their pants and their dresses on one leg at a time, and they're just genuine folks.
Everybody seems authentic, everybody seems to get the whole tone of this thing.
It's that whole idea that the world is happening and you buy into it because the cast is so perfect.
Even the local people who are playing extras get this thing. They really do understand why this thing needs to be funny in a certain way.
You know, as a former cast member on Nickelodeon, I've been slimed many times. This feels like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because the slime immediately finds your butt crack.
No, I don't.
Somehow, the blood from this wound
Stop him from dripping.
has found my butt crack.
One of the characters that I wrote specifically for one of these actors was the role of Otto. While I was writing it, Steve Burns was the guy I had in mind the entire time. So, because he's primarily known for being the fun, you know, squeaky clean guy on Blue's Clues, this really could have gone south if he wasn't a really credible performer.
I'm playing my role completely without humor. The script is funny, so I just play it straight, you know, as much as possible, and let the situation take it. I'm kind of the Marilyn Munster of the script anyway. I kind of react to the craziness. My character does this a lot. That's all I do in the movie.
Turner is somebody that has cared for a long time about BurmTech Industries. He's a real company man. He loves the company, but he's started to go insane. It's funny and it's kooky and quirky along the way, but then I'd say the last couple of times I'm on screen, it's really dark.
I killed Mike, didn't I?
Well, the character of Henry, as I understand it from reading the stage directions, and that's as much research as I ever do, was, I guess, a Confederate soldier who is now sort of third in command. Probably really is quite happy being third in command, likes the fact that Turner's in charge and Rebecca's above him, and in my mind, I think it has a deep crush on Rebecca.
You can't lose sight of what's at stake, Henry.
And that's about all I've given him. That's about all I've attributed to him as a person. I like all my characters to be slightly less than two-dimensional.
You know what? It's so funny because Pearl walks into it and has no clue what she's walking into until she sees people chewing on fingers and heels and stuff. She's slightly odd, and I think that's lovable in itself. And she was engaged to a ventriloquist and has a dummy, you know, and how endearing is that, you know? And she talks to it. And I want the audience to care for her.
Otto Granberry is slightly over 100 years old. I like to think that he is sort of a reformer in the netherworld. He sort of champions the idea of normalcy and integration. He sees himself sort of as a bridge between the old school vampires, more like Bunyan, who are more likely just to eat a guy. You know, we ate him. He was a bum anyway. I think in the original script they talked about there was a scene where Bunyan would go out with a fishing pole and a dollar bill and fish for bums and eat them. I think Otto is much more about, well, maybe we should sort of seek to assimilate with the human population. And,
in a little bit.
He clearly yearns for that.
Do you guys ever do happy hour?
And that's one of the reasons why he's so attracted to Pearl, I like the scene where she asks him out and he can't. Not because he's too shy, partly because he's too shy and he doesn't know what to do, but also because he doesn't know whether to kiss her or maybe eat her. There's a very interesting conflict there. You don't get to play much as an actor.
I like to act with dogs as much as possible. I have a dog clause in my contract.
I haven't done much since Blue's Clues. I mean, I kind of quit acting altogether, and I kind of woke up one day and said, you know, I've lost enough hair that I don't look like that guy anymore. I think it's time to maybe see if there's some acting roles out there. And this is one of the first things I read, and it was certainly the best thing I read. Daryl Hammond has a sickness to his comedy that I find incredibly interesting.
And Judd Nelson was the creepiest bad guy ever. He totally embodied Steven. So I'm really proud to be working with this cast. It's so exciting.
Dave Foley and I mean everyone's been cool. So
Really enjoying working with Dave Foley, who I've always thought was a very special kind of comedian. And by special, I mean club-footed and retarded.
Put him all together.
Focus. Look at the focus. Like, I don't want to disturb him or interrupt him right now.
Please.
He's focusing. He's meditating.
Great, I love
if you look, I don't know if you can get a shot of it, but right in his eyes there, see the focus, the steely-eyed focus. It's technique. That is technique.
Jeeves is such a good actor. He's actually a cat.
Okay.